Hello, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Last and Zero here on Circuit Breakers. You may have seen these players on this map before on the channel, but it is not a game that I have cast before because I double-checked. Bottom right-hand corner is the Teal Zerg player. It is Zero. And in the top left-hand corner, it is the purple Terran player, Last. Now, Last, one of the best Terran players on Earth right now. And same story for Zero, one of the best Zerg players. 100%. So very excited to see what these two players have for us in store today. We are on the Carbot skin. Those of you who are interested in the Carbot skin are pretty happy. Those of you who wish it would die are obviously not very pleased. But we're just trying to just sprinkle in a little Carbot from time to time. That's all we're looking at. We're not trying to make the whole channel Carbot. Definitely have these standard remastered skins as part of the play sometimes. And sometimes I even actually end up casting, old replays from YouTube that people are watching. So kind of hard to explain, but anyway, what are we looking at here today? Anything crazy? Any quick pools? Any 4 pools? No. Any sign of a proxy barracks? No. Not at all. So very standard stuff here to start this game. Overlord scouting up in the direction where he's hoping to find a little bit of our friend here, but nope. Not finding any Terran that way. And this Overlord is trying to make sure there's no proxy bunkers coming up here because he is definitely not drone scouting. But Last has no interest in scouting either, so he's not really planning on being that aggressive regardless. So yeah, we're just looking at a pretty standard opening macro shenanigans stuff here. Is all we're working on. So anyway, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, feel free to hit that like button and that subscribe. I do 4 Brood War casts every single week. 4! That's a lot of Brood War, you guys. Come on. Enjoy it. I demand that you enjoy it. But yeah, like button helps me get more visibility and helps more videos come out and encourages me to keep doing this stuff is what we're doing here. The channel is about, 5.5 years old now. It's going to be 6 years old. Is it going to be 6 years old? Hold on. Math. Must do math. That was then. This is now. Just kidding. It's almost 5 years old. Call the math. The math is hard. Never do math on stream, is what they say, and I should have listened to them. Regardless, 4.5 years old, almost 5, which I still feel like it's a pretty good chunk of time we've been doing this. But is that a... Woo! That is a double expand before pool opening from Zero. Hey! If he can get away with this, he's going to be in a pretty fantastic position, gotta say. Is he also making a macro... Okay, so it's just a macro hatch. Alright, I thought maybe he was taking a base there, which would have been awesome. But it just goes macro hatch before pool. Very interesting stuff here. I kind of like it. I kind of want to steal this build. I like just having a lot of larvae available early, and with standard builds that I've seen, it's not as available as I like them to be. As somebody who plays more StarCraft 2 than anything else. But anyway, we got a couple Marines heading on down. Ooh, he's going to toss up a bunker. He's like, that pool is late. That is a late pool. I'm going to toss a bunker up here because there's nothing you can do about it. This drone's going to try to shut this sucker down. Which, a little bit annoying, but now the SCV can go back to work because a Marine has joined the party. Oh, he canceled it because there's a Sunken coming up. All right, fair enough. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to get some pressure down with a couple Marines here. Actually, he's still sending Marines. He's going to get us some pressure up. Oh, we're going to build over here. That's the plan here from Last. Kind of really like it a lot. Whoa, SCV, get out of there. Why are you mining from this position? I guess there's nowhere else for you to go. Fair enough. Well, the bunker is done, and there's 2 Marines in there, which is really bad. And then these Marines decided it's time to head on back home and defend against the inevitable Zergling attack that's going to show up. So that's what can happen if you delay your pool, is a bunch of Marines can show up in an SCV and build a bunker and really ruin your day. Is that Sunken in range of that bunker? I bet it is. I bet it is. Zero knows what he's doing here, ladies and gents. Yeah, SCV's pulled off the line to deal with these Lings. Just so none of his Marines die. I don't think that he necessarily needs the Marine or the SCV block here, but, just to be sure. Let's just not take any sacrifices at all. All right, well, Sunken getting some serious damage done. SCV gonna die. Bunker gonna die. Marine's gonna die. I mean, sure, what this did was delay mining for quite a bit. Oh! Oh! The Marines are in a position where they can delay even more mining. Ling's coming on back to try to deal with them, and they should be able to. I don't know, man. Let's see. They're coming in from both directions. The Marines are firing, and yeah, the Marines are going to die. Okay, well, that was fun. It was fun for a little bit there from last, but of course he's still macroing behind it. Still continuing to bump out Marines here, going for an academy, which feels like a bit of a stim timing to me if you were to ask what my opinion is there. Is that a quick lair? That's a really fast lair, and that's a spire. Okay, now he's taking a second gas. So once he got rid of the purple infestation, he went for a very quick spire, took his second gas. This is definitely Muta opening, but you know what's pretty good against the Mutalisk opening is a bunch of Marines with stim. A bunch of Marines with stim and also missile turrets are pretty fantastic. And if you're making this many Marines, of course you want an engineering bay, so there's one coming up now, and a comsat station, etc., etc. So I think Last is going to be all too prepared for this, and Zero really shouldn't be able to get too much done with this Mutalisk opening here. We'll see how many he can make when the time comes. He's got a bunch of gas already, and that spire is about 60 to 70% complete. So keep an eye on that. We got Lings heading up here just to scout out what is exactly over here in this Terran base. The answer is like 16 Marines and 2 medics, my brother. And your Lings are going to die. At least the one, anyway. Additional Sunkens coming up for defense against this thing because he's not going to have his Mutalisks out in time. And Mutas aren't that great at just directly defending against a bunch of Marines and medics anyway. So he's making 7 Mutalisks. He could make another one too. He's got the resources for it and the available supply. There we go, 8. 8 coming up. He's going to have 3 Sunkens, 8 Mutalisks, and like 2 Zerglings. Should be enough. I feel like it's going to be enough here. Maybe Last might just see the 3 Sunkens and be like, nah, we're out. Actually, he might just be happy that he was able to produce a Sunken anyway. Part of your strategy as Terran and Protoss is to force your opponent to use stuff. Use larvae on things other than drones, and use drones on things other than mining. So if you can make drones become Sunkens, you won. That's how that generally works. And now he's just building up turrets, 4 turrets in production back home. The Mutas, again, I would be shocked if they're able to get any kind of substantial damage done here. I'm looking at it, not feeling like it's going to do a whole lot. But yeah, getting attack upgrades for the Marines and the Fire Bats and the Ghosts. Also working on the range upgrade. That's what that one is. Yep, U-238. On that one, that SCV sees his life flash before his eyes as the entire Mutaflock flies right over him and doesn't bother to kill him, which is strange. But yeah, the Marines with stim and medic support, really scary stuff. Lurker aspect on the way. There we go. Now you start picking off units here, stacking them up there. Oh, that turret placement is really good, though. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. These Mutas aren't going to be able to do a whole lot. The third base is substantially delayed because he went for that Muta play, and he needs to get stuff done to justify it. He might try to pick off the Marines on the edge of this ball game, which we've seen so many times in Brood War before. Muta count is 10. It's a good count. I don't think he's lost any yet, although one is pretty severely injured here. And yeah, the Marines are pretty happy. Their +1 attack is just coming on in, but they've got that range, which is really more important when dealing with Mutalisks, is the range upgrade. So the Muta's dancing about, trying to be super annoying and trying to keep the Marines from actually A-moving over here, because that'd be pretty bad for him. But at the same time, Lurker aspect is done, so I don't know. We're going to see any Lurker eggs here is the question. Looking at it. Got a couple Hydras. Could do so. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Oh, he's trying to Lurker up at the top of this ramp. There we go. So that no amount of bio can get up this ramp at all. That's some pretty good play. He managed to sneak these Hydras over, Lurker them up, block off the ramp, and then Lurker the top of that ramp there. That's just where he's taking his third. Yep. Very smart stuff. If you want a third base, that's what you've got to do. You can't just take it, or the Terran will show up with a bunch of bio and destroy it. So you got to have a couple Lurkers at the top of that ramp. If you're going against Protoss, you want to take the low ground base first, throw up some Sunkens and some Hydras against the inevitable Zealot attack that's going to come try to kill your third base. But for this one, just high ramp it. Whoa, where are these Lurkers going? Hey, we need you to protect that third, remember? Oh, playing the mind games. Zero's like, hey, you thought these Lurkers were going to stay and defend, didn't ya? Didn't you think they were going to defend? Well, surprise. I'm going to head up. Oh, I'm going to set up on this bridge. Oh, yeah. Any reinforcing units that try to come through here are going to die. Kind of like it. If these Lurkers could unburrow and maybe come up and get a sandwich going, that'd be pretty nice stuff. So Ling Mutalisk, I don't think anybody's really lost a battle yet, but Last is up big time overall. Because again, the third base was pretty darn late from Zero, and he didn't really get a lot done to justify it being late. It's not like Last delayed him all that much, but I mean, somewhat, right? Able to get that bunker behind that mineral line did slow down the income for some bit, but Not really enough to justify the incredibly late third. That was really the Mutalisks that did it. Oh, hold position Lurker! Hold position Lurker! Hey, Zero makes it happen with a hold position Lurker trick. Trying to take down the science vessel if they can do it. All this bio on the ground is getting murdered. Medics getting picked off here too. That is the play. That is the state of play there, ladies and gentlemen. Zero evening the odds to some extent there. Taking out a ton of bio, forcing Last back to the safety of his natural base. He doesn't feel comfortable taking a third right now. There are some vultures cruising on out. Is this going to be a mech transition? It looks like it is. Tanks in production. 2 more factories on the way here too. This is scary. This is scary for Zero. We've seen this a bunch of times. And how do you beat the mech transition for Terran if you're Zerg? The question is, you want to kill the Terran before he gets there. But additionally, what you want to do is do things like drops. Get a lot of drop lords. Get a lot of lings and hydras and lurkers to drop on top of everything. Drop inside the main base of the Terran. Whatever you do never attack overground into tanks. Even if you have Dark Swarm, it's not going to make a difference. Even if you have Queens throwing down spawn broodlings on those tanks, it's not going to make a difference. The only thing we've seen win... Ooh, Spider Mine's getting some decent hits off on those lurkers, too. One of them goes down. The other 3 are just severely injured at the moment. Yeah, the way you got to do it, the only way that I've seen it work into the late game against a Terran mech is drops. Drop bases, drop on top of the army. Do not engage them directly across ground. You can't do it. These lurkers need to burrow approximately right now. Yeah, that scan is an early warning indication that we're coming in. Irradiate. Just waiting. You got to wait for those lurkers to die. The mutas trying to do some stuff here, but that marine count is scary. And they have +1. The mutas are just getting destroyed. Goodbye, Mutalisks. Goodbye, 4th base, I suppose. Hey, look, a 3rd base is done. Check that out from Last. Remember when I was like, he's afraid to do that? No. He's fine. Was that even a cancel? That might have been a cancel. Didn't watch it directly here. Irradiate on the lurkers again. He wants to come up this ramp. He doesn't want to with the lurkers up here, though. The tanks can help with that to some extent. There really need to be some Scourge. There are Scourge in production for the science vessels, but not right now. Lings going down that ramp is just death. The moment here. This mini-map is really in the way over here, isn't it? Scourge. Nope, no hits off. No hits off at all. This base is in a lot of trouble. There's not a ton of bio here, but guess what? There's a Nidus Canal, and the Nidus Canal is getting a reinforcements up, and suddenly this bio was all completely dead. Or at least in full retreat. Nice micro on those Scourge. Getting one, and the other one does not go down. Nicely done, though. Meanwhile, spider mines have been seated up around this right side of the map, just trying to make sure that no reinforcements can go over land to cause any problems. Where'd that science vessel go? Did it go away? Oh, okay, it fled. It fled from the position. Not enough marines to keep it safe. 3rd base hanging on by the skin of its teeth here. 4th base for Zero in a lot of trouble here. 12 o'clock being taken by Last, looking pretty good there for the Purple Terran. Forcing a cancel on the 4th base twice now. Last is kind of taking Zero to school right now, ladies and gentlemen. 142 to 91 supply. Are you kidding me? Wow. All right, man. More tanks, more vultures in production, working on vehicle weapons, getting more defilers in the mix. Not that we've seen them to this point at all. Zerglings, dragons, spider mines out to their deaths. More spider mines replacing those. And okay, so taking the 6 o'clock position is Zero. First 4th this time. Hey, Dark Swarm is up. And Vulture's actually darting right on by to just try to take down a ton of these drones. Wow, what a fantastic position there. Hydras and Lings are forced to pop out of the canal to save it. But a bunch of drones go down in that position, which is really bad news bears. Dark Swarm, Lurker's not even really good under Dark Swarm up here. Gonna take some fire. In the meantime, actually, where is their high ground vision? Never you mind, ladies and gentlemen. Never you mind. Base taken in the top right by Last. As long as you're putting pressure on the Zerg player, you can expand quite a bit. And Last is taking full advantage of that. Dark Swarm on the ramp, keeping this base alive. Zero is holding on as tightly as he can to this 3rd base that he's mining from. But man, a 4th base is done. For Last up top, he is just out-macroing the ever-loving everything out of his Zerg opponent right now. A couple more science vessels here with their not full energy. One of them has still not been repaired. Which, I don't know, man. Repaired, I guess? Ling Hydra. Big push up the middle. Taking down a lot of these vultures and these marines. There are 2 tanks here. Is that enough to hold this is the question. Nice Dark Swarm. Spider Mines, though. God, that Lurker goes down. The Spider Mine vulture tank position is really hard to break. Trying to sneak up on this way to get into this third base. Maybe finish off some SCVs. The vultures are heading it off. Lurker gets into position, but does actually get irradiated before it can really do too much here. Nice Dark Swarm positioning. Defiler, does it have a consume available? Consuming a Hydra would not be too bad. I guess there are a bunch of Lings there you can consume as well, but actually the Defiler not really engaged with this at all. Third base is going to get sniped down here, especially as all the SCVs die. And wow, Zero made it. Zero managed to get in here and take down the third base. I didn't think he'd be able to do it here. I thought there was too much Terran, but command center down. Oh, that Defiler trying to join the front lines, and the Vultures find it and pick it off. Very nicely done. SCV transferring up to their 5th base up top. Ooh, and getting rid, actually forcing a liftoff on that 12 o'clock position too. Zero making a comeback just by removing a lot of income from the Terran player. If he can get over here, though. Oh, seems pretty good. Lings, Defilers coming on up. Oh, these Vultures, though. Ah! Defiler down to a Spider Mine. That's not good at all. Oh, go top right. Go top right. Come on, Hydras. They're moving. They're moving. They're going. APM for these players is really high because a lot of stuff is going on right now. Effective APM. Pretty effective here right now. And by golly, he's going to do it. Last is going to basically be set back rather, to a 2-basing Terran right now. Sure, he's trying to take down bases in this bottom right with a couple Vultures, but the Hydras should be able to handle that no problem, and they do. And these SCVs are in all of the trouble. Oh my gosh. The Hydras are going to try to finish off the command center here. Zero really flipping the script here. He was in a huge amount of trouble. And suddenly, he's actually kind of okay. He's on 3 bases. Technically, he's on okay. 4 bases, 5 bases now. But here comes the tank push. Last knows he has been relegated to a 2-basing Terran player. He needs to kill Zerg bases or he is dead. Mutalisk tech switch coming in. Hey, how many Goliaths do you have last? Not any, thanks, bye. And he's going to have to pull back because of the Mutalisks responding to the threat. Just kidding, there's 1 Goliath here. There is a Goliath with the army and a couple Marines and a couple science vessels. It's not entirely bereft of anti-air. Let's just say that. They're working on Charon boosters here. Oh, have I ever seen that level of a turnaround in a game that I've cast? Last was killing Zero. Zero was relegated to exactly 3 bases. He had nothing going for him. His 4th had been canceled 3 times. And then suddenly, the Zerg player just makes it happen. Rolls to the top left, crushes that base, crushes 12 o'clock, and then crushes the top right, too. So the 3rd base is back for last, which is really nice for him. He's still up about 10 supply, which is good. This is a fantastic match, I gotta say. These 2 players really bring out the best in each other, I gotta say. Okay, well, these Lurkers, pathing is hard. Control is really difficult. Inverted war. And everybody pulling out here. Let's just not go to where all these units are. I guess turning around and killing this Goliath would not be too bad of an idea. Does that Goliath want to come? The Goliath definitely wants to die, as we can see here. But yeah, tanks coming on in. They do have the upgrades. The 1-1 is done for these mech units. Scourge really want to kill that science vessel. They get 1. That's a really important hit there for Zero. Setting up on the high ground, the 3rd base is in a lot of trouble right now. We got Lings. We got Dark Swarm. He's going to try to engage into this tank line over the ground, which I've said is always not a great idea. Lings topping on in. Irradiate on a couple of these Mutalisks that are on hold position. Oh no, the Irradiate is so good. Oh, but one of the mutas are down. The Lurkers are all killed here, too. That was not very well executed by Zero. And he's going to lose a couple hatches of his own. Yeah, this 6 o'clock position is dead right now. So 3-basing Terran now versus a 3-basing Zerg. Glass has managed, through the power of tanks, to cause some major problems today. For the Zerg, can he get one of these? One of them. One of the science vessels goes down. Lings popping out. You meant to take down a tank, which is a minor victory, but there are still several others remaining. Tacking up the front here. Zero is not content just to allow reinforcing units come up here and join the front. He's going to try to slow him down as best as he can. So many Defilers have died without doing anything for Zero today, because they keep coming across the middle here and just getting absolutely massacred. Suddenly it's 154 to 91 supply, and suddenly Last has strongly just taken hold of this game again. He was in a great position, then he lost it, and now it's back, although the mutas are coming back on in once the science vessels are effectively gone. This one doesn't have energy for much of anything at all. Or anything at all. The Mutalisks are forcing everybody back. A lot of tanks have died to these mutas here. And then retaking the 12 o'clock position is last. He's back to being 4 bases. And maybe he'll expand to the top right here again. It seems like something he might be able to do. Yeah, spider mines, vultures, and tanks are utter garbage against mutas, as it turns out. So if we've seen, maybe just every once in a while, just tech on over to Mutalisk if you're Zerg and you can get stuff done here. Lull the Terran into a false sense of security. Oh gosh, is there anything defending this third base? Well, a couple Sunkens. It's not bad. I feel like Zero could have tried to take this base a while ago. The fact that he hasn't seems a little bit slow here, but Muta's coming on down trying to save this thing. The Vultures are hitting it with their +2 attack. 135 to 100 supply right now. This game is maybe gonna get an epic tag. This has just been as back and forth swingy as I have seen in a very long time. Yeah, 6 o'clock base. No, not gonna get reestablished. Not if these vultures have anything to say about it. I cannot believe the science vessel is still alive. I mean, it's not anymore. But it stayed alive for a lot longer than I thought it would, hanging out in Zerg territory here. Why are just defilers, man? Dark Swarm. The vultures all die. Okay, I mean, maybe not the best use of Dark Swarm, but hey, at least he got a cast off before he died, right? That's what I'm looking at here. I really wish spider mine squares were smaller than other squares. Like, the size of a spider mine on the minimap is the same size as a tank on the minimap. It's dumb. They're so big. They keep making me think there's an army sitting right here, but there's not. It's just spider mines. 144 to 110 supply. Last is just terrifying. His ability to just come back around and be like, all right, I'll retake my bases, rebuild my armies, incorporate some Goliaths in here because they're pretty good against Mutalisk, especially with the Charon boost upgrade, and especially if they're +2, which they are, +2 attack. I don't know if there's enough down here to save this base. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the army supply available. It's a lot of Mutalisks, which are not responding to this threat at all. Guys, there's a huge army down here, which maybe you... Alright, we're just taking a base for a base, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of turrets up here, man. Do you want to attack into that, or do you want to attack into this? Not great questions. Not great options here, I gotta say. Man, 5 Goliaths at a time being produced right now. Mutalisk. Ugh, no. Muta's trying to hold position, kill a bunch of these SCVs. That's not bad. Slowing down the income is a good thing to do, but these Mutas are varying shades of red and orange and yellow. This third base is gonna go down too. I just don't see Zero coming back from this, but we've seen Stranger Things. We've seen all of the seasons of Stranger Things. And we've seen Zero come back from really horrible positions before. He does get some Dark Swarm up with some Lurkers and some Hydralisks, and this base actually seems like it's in a lot of trouble. So the hatchery at third base goes down. Replacing the fourth base, though, is Zero, the 6 o'clock. Muta's engaging on top of these Goliaths as best they can, but they are getting picked off. However, the Goliaths are doing worse at the moment here, and somehow Zero managed to wipe out 2 more bases. Kind of. Not officially yet, but he's working on it while double expanding himself. Zero coming back from the dead here, killing another command center, but once again, Last shows the just the presence of mind to move across the map with his tanks and wipe out a couple bases in revenge here. Hydras are not going to do it, not without some Dark Swarm. Yeah, Last is taking out our 3 o'clock position here. Zero, just I don't know that he has an army what with to take this thing down. He can Dark Swarmish here. Got some Lurkers in the mix. The Lings are +2 armor, +1 attack. There's your Dark Swarm. Pretty darn nice Plague on those Goliaths here too. Loving that. But just moving out of the Dark Swarm and forcing the Ling to engage in them. The Lurker getting some serious damage off. Muta's trying to pick these guys off, but no! The Plague didn't do enough damage here. It's 111 to 68 supply. I do not see Zero being able to dislodge this army at all. Another base being taken by Last along the left side. Is he going to replace the base up north? I don't know. There's a Hydra kind of sitting there waiting for it to go down here too, but yeah, Zero, he's got his Lings, he's got his Mutalisk, but he doesn't have much of anything else right now. Losing the third hurt him immensely. Losing the space on the right side hurt him immensely. But it's 115 to 70 supply. I mean, that's not doubling up, but it's pretty bad. There are no defilers in this army either. I just don't see what Zero has to threaten this. Lings, Hydras coming on in. Lurker's coming in from the top side here too. Doing pretty well on top of this army. I'm liking it. And a bunch of these tanks are going to go down as there's no detection for them. And the Lurkers are getting direct hits on them. But still not dislodged. There are still 2 tanks here and several Goliaths. Vultures coming down all the time. Whoa! Walking directly in to Lurker spines. Not generally recommended. SCVs coming down maybe to repair stuff, but they're just going to die instead. And that's your good game as Zero taps out. And last is your winner in 25 minutes and 44 seconds. Wow! Swing, swing, swing went the trolley. That was amazing. What a great match. Last looks like he's going to dominate the game. For the first 10 or 15 minutes, just looks really on top of things. Zero looks slow. His initial mutal harass doesn't do anything. He can't expand on time. He doesn't have 4 bases when he needs to have 4 bases. And then he just manages to kind of sneak up around this ramp, take out this 3rd base, takes out the 4th base, and takes out the 5th base in quick order. Amazing stuff while simultaneously expanding behind it, but both times Last finds himself in trouble. He just moves a bunch of tanks down, takes down a base or 2, wipes out some hatcheries, makes it really, really hard for Zero to dislodge him from positions that are directly threatening his income, and then is able to macro behind it at the same time. So Last making some really good positioning choices there. Ended up losing a few bases, but killed some hatcheries in time too. And I don't know, does this deserve an epic tag? That is a good question. Do we think it deserves an epic tag? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think it deserves one of those. And if enough of you say that it does, I'll change it and we'll add it to that playlist. And are you guys enjoying the epic playlist? Do you think I'm a little bit too loose on what I define as epic? Or is every epic game considered epic in your eyes? Let me know in the comments about that too. So let's go ahead and check out that final score. Hit that like button, by the way, if you're interested in saying you liked this game, because I don't know why you wouldn't, going to be honest with ya. 172,000 points for Last, 167 for Zero. We're looking at 500 units produced by the Zerg, but almost 500 for Last as well. And killed 450. That's a big deal. Resources, well, again, ZBT. Buildings constructed, not that big of a deal here. Way more gas mined for Zero. More minerals mined for Last, and way more spent from Zero here too, but this is your thing. This is more than a third more units killed at the end of the day by the Terran player. Just tanks, vultures, spider mines, Goliaths getting some serious hits off, irradiates doing some good stuff too. Last knows how to play TPZ, guys, and he's good at it. All right, fantastic result there. That's going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.